Let's get started with our first news. Khabib is cooking everybody in the gym. The Eagle just landed in the US to join Islam Makhachev's UFC 322 camp, and true to form, he immediately started roasting everyone's English. Khabib says, "No more, no more." But someone fires back, "Not true." Khabib laughs, "It's true. My language, his English, is zero." The room bursts into laughter as Islam tries to defend himself. "His English is good. My Russian is zero." Khabib doesn't miss a beat. "I'm a real man, coach. That's why I know his English is zero. Your Russian is zero. Finish, finish, finish. No more." Islam, trying to stay calm, admits, "My Russian is zero. Yes, that's true. But whose fault is it?" "Why can't you teach me?" Khabib smirks. "You have to learn by yourself." Islam laughs. "I can't learn by myself. I do Duolingo, it doesn't work well." Everyone starts laughing again as Khabib shakes his head. "No excuse," he says. Then he turns to Ali. "Ali, what do you got to say about that?" "He doesn't teach me Russian." Ali, half laughing, half serious, replies, "Coach, you know what? They don't need Russian, man." Khabib quickly fires back. "His English is zero, too." The room explodes again. Everyone's laughing, teasing, and throwing playful jabs as Khabib takes over the gym with his unmatched charisma. It's classic Khabib. No warm-up needed. Just pure energy, jokes, and dominance from the moment he walks in. Even though he's retired, his presence alone lights up the entire room. The bond between Khabib, Islam, and the rest of the camp shows exactly why this team is one of the most united in MMA. They push each other, laugh together, and never miss a chance to roast one another. And now, with Khabib back in camp, the vibes are stronger than ever. Everyone's on edge but laughing nonstop. The Eagle has landed, and once again, he's running the show. Move on to another news. Dan Hooker has had enough of being known as just the exciting guy on the card. In a recent interview with Sky Sports, the Hangman made it clear he's done chasing highlight reels. He wants the belt, plain and simple. Hooker opened up about his mindset, explaining why he's not targeting Justin Gaethje next, and instead setting his sights on Arman. Hooker didn't mince words, saying Gaethje is simply not that guy. For Hooker, the path to a title doesn't go through flashy fights or fan-favorite brawls. It goes through the toughest and most deserving contenders. To me, he said, Arman is the best guy. He is the fight. Like, if I beat Gaethje, that's just a fun fight. You have to make a decision. Do you want to just be an exciting fighter that puts on great shows and knockouts? Because there were times in my career where that was enough for me, but now I want more. Hooker went on to explain how his mindset has evolved over time. I used to think, oh man, I just want to be that exciting guy who gets knockouts. Then you're like, I want a main event. And when you get that main event, you start wondering, what's next? That hunger for more has reshaped how Hooker views the division. Justin Gaethje is not that guy, he repeated firmly. He doesn't get me to that guy. Gaethje gets me a headache, maybe some more money, but who cares? Arman is the path to the title. Beyond just fight strategy, Hooker also spoke about authenticity and self-belief. He made it clear he's not interested in putting on a fake persona just to win fans. Taking a clear shot at the Colby Covington approach, he said, I'd rather be hated for being myself than loved for playing a role. Hooker's upcoming matchup against Arman at UFC Qatar this November could be a massive turning point. The fight is expected to decide the next title challenger for Ilya's lightweight belt, assuming El Matador doesn't move up to challenge Islam Makhachev at 170. For Hooker, it's not about hype anymore, it's about legacy. He wants the fights that matter, the opponents that test him, and the road that leads straight to UFC gold. No trash talk, no gimmicks, just pure fighting spirit. Move on to another news. Fans are growing concerned for Alex Pereira after a recent training clip went viral online. The video showed Pereira in a grappling session. And while it looked like a normal day in the gym, fans on social media immediately began questioning whether he's truly ready for a fighter like Jon Jones. Within minutes, comments started flooding in, with many claiming the footage only confirmed their fears. If Pereira ever meets Jones inside the octagon, it could end badly for him. One fan wrote, Sean has underrated grappling. Pereira gets done bad by Jon Jones. Looks like he still needs to work on that a lot more. Another added, wow, Jon Jones would destroy Alex Pereira. I have no doubt after watching this. That sentiment echoed across hundreds of replies, with some even suggesting that Pereira's takedown defense still hasn't evolved enough since his transition from kickboxing to MMA. Another fan bluntly said, Bro has no takedown defense. Imagine if he fought Jon. Comments like that quickly gained traction, as clips of Pereira's previous fights began resurfacing, showing moments where his grappling was tested. While his striking remained some of the most dangerous in the sport, fans seem convinced that a matchup with a dominant wrestler like Jones would expose his weaknesses. A few fans even went further, bringing Khamzat into the discussion. "Man, Khamzat would steamroll both of them," one comment read, gaining thousands of likes. The idea of Khamzat facing Pereira or Jones set off even more debates, with fans arguing over who would survive longer against the undefeated powerhouse. Despite the criticism, many others came to Pereira's defense, pointing out that training footage doesn't always tell the full story. They reminded everyone that the same kind of doubts surrounded him before his fights with Jan Blachowicz and Jiří Procházka, and yet he proved everyone wrong. Those fans argued that Pereira is constantly improving, and that no one should underestimate the power and composure he brings inside the cage. Still, the concern remains. The visual of Pereira being out-grappled struck a nerve, especially with rumors swirling about a potential future super fight between him and Jon Jones. If that ever happens, fans believe the deciding factor won't be power or striking, it'll be who can impose their style first. For now, the conversation online is heated and fans are divided. Some think Pereira's in trouble, others believe he'll rise to the occasion like always. Either way, one thing is certain: everyone will be watching closely. Move on to another news. Michael Chandler says he needs a win in the UFC badly. It looks like Mr. Muscle Mike himself has come to the realization that the time for talk is over. He needs to get back in the win column. After chasing the Conor fight for over a year, Chandler finally stepped back into the octagon against Paddy Pimblett. Unfortunately, things didn't go his way. Muscle Mike came up short once again, adding to a rough patch that's now become a 3-fight losing streak. As it stands, Chandler is 2-5 in the UFC, and even he admits it's time to turn things around. During a recent 1-hour podcast with Chris Van Vliet, Chandler opened up about his struggles and his mindset heading into what could be the most crucial stretch of his career. When asked if he needs a win right now, he didn't hesitate. "Pretty badly," he said. "You always want to win. That's the goal. Obviously, fighting Conor is a great fight. I love that fight." When asked if he thinks he'd be the favorite, Chandler smiled and said, "Favorite is interesting. You never really know what the betting odds will be, but I would imagine I would be, and that fight will probably be at 170. He added, I hope, yeah, I'll fight at that weight. I'm excited to get into a training camp again, put together a solid game plan, and start preparing with a real fight date in mind, an opponent in mind." Chandler said he's been studying Conor's movements, habits, and tendencies for years and feels extremely confident about the matchup. "It's a fight the fans want to see," he said. "It's a fight that I think I should be favored in. And it's a fight I'm very confident I'm going to win." Outside the octagon, Chandler also has a wrestling match coming up against Chad Mendes on November 29th, headlining RFO 3. As for his next UFC bout, there's still no official word. He's once again waiting for Conor, possibly for the UFC White House event. Chandler also shared an emotional moment from the podcast, revealing that his wife gave him some much-needed perspective. "She told me, 'Babe, your brand, who you are, and why people love you is because you're a guy who takes action. Somewhere along the way, you lost yourself waiting for this fight.'" Her words hit hard. Chandler said after praying and reflecting, he woke up one morning and called Henry Cejudo saying, "I want Madison Square Garden. I want Charles Oliveira." Henry replied, "All right, done." And just like that, Muscle Mike was back in motion, chasing action once again. Move on to another news. Sean Strickland absolutely dominated Alex Pereira in a recent grappling session that quickly went viral. Pereira has officially begun preparation for a potential super fight against Jon Jones, and it's clear he's wasting no time getting to work. Just weeks after his incredible knockout victory over Jamahal Hill, Ho Tan is back on the mats training hard, wrestling, and testing himself against one of the toughest and most unpredictable partners he could find in Sean Strickland. In the footage Pereira shared, the two are seen going back and forth in intense grappling exchanges. But honestly, Pereira's ground game didn't look particularly sharp. While he showed strength and good balance, Strickland's pace and control completely overwhelmed him. The former middleweight champion was relentless, smothering Pereira, staying heavy on top, and constantly looking to advance position. At times, it looked like Pereira was just trying to survive the pressure. You can hear Strickland shouting mid-roll, "Careful, I'm upping the game," before taking Pereira down again and laughing. The energy was chaotic, raw, and exactly what you'd expect from Sean, talking trash even while he's working submissions. Fans couldn't help but notice how different the two looked on the ground. While Pereira's striking is world-class, Strickland's grappling experience and mat control clearly stood out. The clip sparked massive reactions online. Fans started pointing out that if Pereira struggles this much against Strickland, things could get ugly if he ever steps in there with John Jones. Comments poured in like, "Bro needs to fix that grappling ASAP," and Jones would take him down in 10 seconds. Others, though, defended Pereira, reminding everyone that training footage doesn't tell the full story and that Strickland is a nightmare to deal with even for elite grapplers. Still, it's obvious Pereira knows what he needs to improve. Facing someone like Jones means mastering takedown defense, staying composed on the ground, and being able to get back to his feet, where his deadly striking becomes the equalizer. Watching him put in this work so soon after a knockout win shows just how focused he is. Strickland, on the other hand, looked as confident as ever. He was cracking jokes, pushing the pace, and making it clear why his style frustrates so many opponents. For Pereira, this kind of challenge is exactly what he needs heading into the next stage of his career. Whether fans see it as a wake-up call or just good training, one thing's certain. Poden is already preparing for war. Move on to another news. Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gane are set to run it back after their first fight ended in one of the most controversial no contests in recent UFC history. The heavyweight champion is expected to face Gane in a highly anticipated rematch, and now, the potential dates for their second clash have finally been revealed. In his first defense of the undisputed UFC heavyweight title, Aspinall took on Gane at UFC 321 inside the Etihad Arena in Abu Dhabi. Both fighters started strong, trading heavy shots and showing flashes of brilliance, but things took a shocking turn when Gane accidentally poked Aspinall in both eyes, leaving the champion with a gruesome injury that forced the doctor to stop the fight. The bout was ruled a no contest, leaving fans and fighters equally frustrated. While little is known about the full extent of Aspinall's injuries, reports suggest he's recovering well, and the rematch could happen sooner than expected. UFC President Dana White made it clear right after the event that the plan is to book the rematch as soon as possible. "The rematch is very interesting," White said. "Right here, right now, being honest, the rematch is what makes sense." Respected MMA journalist Nick Pete also weighed in, suggesting that UFC 323 on December 6th at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas would be the perfect stage for the rematch. "The UFC can't wait," Pete said. "I wouldn't wait for the new year. Go in December, go in Vegas, top it straight away. Cyril deserves it. The fans deserve it. And Tom certainly deserves it." Pete added that Aspinall will be eager to return quickly, especially after the ridiculous narrative on social media suggesting he looked for a way out. "You're out of your mind if you think that," Pete fired back. When he sees that narrative, it'll fire him up even more. Currently, UFC 323 is expected to feature Merab defending his bantamweight title against Peter Yan, with flyweight champion Alexandre Pantoja facing Joshua Van in the co-main event. Adding Aspinall versus Gane to that lineup would make it one of the biggest cards of the year. However, Ariel Helwani offered a different perspective, suggesting the fight could headline the UFC London event in early 2026. "You have to run it back," Helwani said. "Maybe it's a title fight in London, or maybe it's that Vegas card." But Pete quickly dismissed that, insisting neither fighter wants to wait until March. Tom's been out 14 months, Cyril's been out a year. As long as the eye health is there, lock it in for December. One thing's clear, fans want this rematch, and both heavyweights are ready to settle the score once and for all. Move on to another news. Sean Ali, better known as Sean O'Malley, is at it again, stirring up the internet with his trademark mix of humor and controversy. This time, he's trolling the MMA world by showing off what he jokingly calls his eye poke techniques, while the heated Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gane drama continues to dominate headlines. In his usual laid-back, charismatic style, O'Malley starts his video by addressing fans directly. "Alright guys, I've been seeing a lot of people using this technique," he says with a smirk. Clearly aware that his timing couldn't be more ironic, given the recent eye poke incident that ended the heavyweight title fight. He continues, "A lot of people are using the front hand. Whether you're orthodox or southpaw, using the front hand for the eye poke. But I've been thinking..." He pauses, demonstrating with precision as he throws a mock jab into the camera, followed by a quick cross. "Like I've been thinking, you go jab into the body, then come with the cross. Boom! You get more force." He explains that compared to the traditional front hand eye poke, this version generates more impact, mimicking the motion again for emphasis. Those front eye pokes, you don't get that much force. But when you really get into it, you could do some damage. boom. Like that, boom! As he performs the exaggerated strikes, O'Malley bursts into laughter, fully aware of how absurd the demonstration looks. His tone walks the line between sarcasm and self-promotion, mocking the current chaos surrounding the eye poke debate in the UFC. He ends the clip with a playful but slightly serious warning saying, "Be careful using this stuff. It's dangerous. I'm telling you, this is some dangerous shit." He shakes his head and grins, clearly enjoying the reactions he knows the video will spark online. Within minutes, the clip spreads across social media, igniting conversations among fans, fighters, and analysts alike. Some find it hilarious, seeing it as classic O'Malley humor, while others accuse him of being insensitive, given Tom Aspinall's eye injury, and the ongoing discussions about new rules to prevent similar incidents. But for O'Malley, controversy has always been part of the brand. Whether it's his flashy fighting style, bold trash talk, or his wild personality online, he knows how to keep the spotlight firmly on him. As the video continues to circulate, one thing's for sure, O'Malley once again proves he knows how to get people talking. Love him or hate him, he's the kind of fighter who keeps the sport entertaining,